Welcome back to another 10-minute investor eye test with your friends at Arcanum Ventures. Today we're looking at Nibiru chain, a layer 1 blockchain and smart contract ecosystem, claiming to be the Web3 hub ushering in the next era of money. Sasha, how are you doing today? Have you heard anything about Nibiru?
I'm good. Honestly, I haven't heard
Nibiru?
a whole lot about Nibiru, except for the fact that they've got a lot of different ecosystem partners on board. There seems to be a lot of KOLs that are shilling it on crypto Twitter and some other platforms. So I'm excited to learn what it's about. I hope it's not just like another rinse and repeat layer one that we've seen so many of already, but maybe there's like a really, really cool new type of innovation that they're bringing.
Yeah, we've touched on this in the past. Like, there's too many chains launching, and they all kind of do the same thing. But maybe we're wrong about this one. They have the NIBI token launching on CoinList, I think, in the next week or so. So excited to find out why they need a token. Obviously, Layer One has a good use case for a token most times. But yeah, looking forward to seeing whether this is an investable token.
Yeah, and looks like they're raising $6 million on CoinList, which is pretty cool. And you and I were talking about this a little bit earlier. CoinList is coming back up. I know they launched like a number of really impactful layer one projects before. And
Yep.
so it's like the rebirth of the ICO is happening, right? Because their structure is pretty much just like solid, good old fashioned ICO.
Yeah, and they raised quite a bit of money from major players like Hashkey, Kraken, New Tribe Capital. So they definitely have impressive backing. They raised 8.5 million, which is actually not a whole lot for a layer one. I think they're capable of getting away with raising a whole lot more.
You know what's crazy is that Crypto Rank considers Kraken Ventures a tier 2 investor.
You, you know, this is one of my diatribes I frequently go on, but anybody that uses tiers unironically in crypto it's one of the most cringe things you can do. Like, who's ascribing tiers to different exchanges and launchpads and KOLs and VCs? It's all arbitrary. There's no real distinction there. Kraken is a valuable partner, whichever way you want to cut it. So if that's on your pitch deck, you're probably pretty happy, and so are your investors.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, well, we are tier 1 people. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I'm a tier one human being. I know that much.
Yeah. No one can say otherwise. Well, if you're good to go, we'll start the clock and dive in.
Yeah, for anybody not familiar, we just take 10 short minutes to determine if we would look into this more. Obviously, you can't tell if you would invest in something in 10 minutes, or at least you shouldn't, but you can tell if you don't want to. So before we dive in, remember to like and subscribe if you enjoy this type of content, you want to see more of it. And let's dive in as soon as you're ready, brother.
And now, 10 minutes. We got the website up. Ooh, I like this, man. It looks clean. It looks nice. The Web3 hub ushering in the next era of money. What do you notice about this landing page?
It's sleek and it kind of looks like our, our landing
Yeah, they
page,
stole it
our
from
graphic.
us.
But no, I mean it looks nice. I personally like simple and sleek designs for websites. I don't love not seeing social media links on the top, because I think that should be very easy to find for a Web3 project, especially, or a community driven startup. So that is one thing I would definitely add, but that's personal preference. But they want to funnel you towards their ecosystem and their building program, whatever that looks like. So that says they're trying to onboard maybe other blockchains to interact with, and obviously developers, because we've said this a million times, kind of beating a dead horse here, but you are only as good as the people that choose to build on your community or infrastructure, whatever you want to call it. So you can have the best technology in the world, but if nobody believes you, then it's for nothing.
That's a very good point. I like how sleek and clean it is. There's no mention as of now of the token sale that's upcoming. So it does feel like a little bit more professional. Obviously, they're
Yeah,
focused
yeah.
on, like you said, building and expanding the ecosystem, which is what they should be focusing on in launching a layer one. They need to bring on projects. They need to bring on builders, expand the network, and hopefully users will come. In addition to their token distribution method. I like they've got this text like cutting off, which directs you down to scroll. And so I think the mission remains the same. Like, would we invest in this token and or a coin? And I think that's going to be dependent on what advantages we might identify above existing layer one networks or ecosystems. And so here's some great metrics already. They show close to 20.
One of those One of those doesn't belong.
Yeah, right.
Discord members. It's a weird thing to flex next to your throughput and your total transactions ever on testnet. And like, by the way, look at our community, which just lends more credibility to the fact that they should have their Discord link at the top of the page if they're so proud of their community. Just food for thought.
I,
Team,
I think very tasty.
team over at Nibiru.
But yeah, I mean, contracts deployed 28,000 block times 1.4 seconds. Discord members 115K, total transactions 135 million plus on the test net. Yeah, these look impressive. Many people that might be visiting might not know or understand the impact of these numbers, these metrics. Unfortunately, I love playing devil's advocate when we do these 10-minute eye tests. All of these metrics can be gamed and inflated. So I don't know how much you want to trust that. We've seen numbers like this being displayed for other layer ones that are coming to market. So, we can't trust these numbers so much. We would make much more sense of whether this is a good investment if we start looking at maybe like the technical white paper or some of the advantages that other people have written about when analyzing this layer one.
If you would allow me to play devil's advocate
Oh
for
man.
1 second. If you compare this, you're absolutely right, by the way, but if you compare this to, let's say, Blast, which is raising an ungodly sum of money with literally no proof of anything, not even pretending to game any system or show some metrics. So I respect that they're trying at least. Like, the bar is very low in this industry, but at least they're trying to show like, hey, we have traction, we have people building, we have people using on testnet. So I appreciate that. Obviously, you should always, this is a good lesson, you should always verify, double, triple check, validate, whatever you want to call it, because you know a lot of these things are not provable, but you should at least try to find evidence of what they're saying.
I completely agree, and it's just important to note that I'm gonna follow you in saying I will never not take an opportunity to poop on Blast until they launch something. So that's gonna happen. But we've got limitless scalability. That's a bold statement, honestly. I mean, limitless scalability. This is like one of the major problems of the blockchain trilemma. Perpetual trading. So discover the new frontier in perpetual trading, on-chain solutions, where everything from the matching engine to price discovery is censorship resistant and capital efficient. So obviously, it's not like something that seems extremely innovative considering DEXs and AMMs already facilitate, censorship resistant trading. And then start building. So yeah, not a whole lot as far as like the, what's the value that this layer one brings outside of limitless scalability, which I don't know if that's true. But again, show some of your backers. These are really impressive names. That's something that people are going to pay attention to.
Yep.
And they got a blog. That's cool.
Yeah. Lesson to other founders: please put your blog on your actual website unless you want to lose money.
Yeah, and then decent graphics. Graphic design goes a long way. Yeah, they've got like some cool partners, right? We haven't really learned anything about the tech yet. Should we dive into documentation or something? I don't know.
I mean, this is a good point. Like, if we had more time, we should obviously try to better understand the tech and how they're different, who they're interacting with. But for the purpose of this video, you and I are trying to determine if the token is worth investing in. So I guess it's more practical to look at the token and its role in the ecosystem.
So let's see if we can find something about the token. I don't know if we can we have enough time to dive into the tech. I'm assuming the token's going to be used for consensus, right?
Yeah.
We've got tokenomics here. And so this is their token distribution they're calling tokenomics. But yeah, I mean, like not a lot of information there, just distribution schedule. So the main thing around tokenomics is going to be the use cases, and the use cases are going to be tied into the consensus mechanism and how that's structured. If it's like delegated proof of stake, if it's some other consensus mechanism.
That can't be it. That's all the information they're giving us for an entire layer one.
That's all
That's
they've
horrible.
got, man. Doesn't look like there's a whole lot of stuff here around consensus. This is messages. This is blocks. Consensus engine. Okay. Interesting. So validation nodes, obviously, all of like the the usual suspects. Byzantine fault tolerant system like Tendermint. Okay, so robustness against network partition. I'm not going to lie. I'm not sure. I've never heard about network partition when it comes to layer ones or consensus mechanisms. But
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of playing into this modular blockchain narrative that's going to be popping up more and more, like being able to create forks within an ecosystem. I'm not sure if that's what they're talking about, but
I'm not sure either. It just goes to show, again, reinforcing the fact that if you want to consider investing in a layer one network, and you want to look at the fundamentals, 10 minutes is not enough time. You know what we could do?
oh, they have gas, and governance right there. If you want to check those out real quick.
It's just
I mean, those are the two obvious ones, but I still don't know how they slot in here.
anti-handler. Um, so an anti, originates from the game of poker, and so they're talking about accountability model, authentication, fee reduction, gas meter setup, check memo size. That's cool. It sounds like there's some cool customization available on the network. I kind of like that.
Comparing it to Ethereum, so they have quite a bit of information here. So that's good that they at least thought of it. It looks like they thought of everything. Any question that might be asked. We obviously don't have so much time to dive in, unfortunately, but
Yeah. And so what we can
maybe we
do,
need to do 1 hour eye test.
we can take a look at traction. This is a huge metric to look at when you're trying to figure out if you would invest in a layer one network. And so looking at community size, obviously they have Discord numbers up there, but the ecosystem, like who's built on it already. So
It's good organization.
there's some big names, right? What do we got here?
Of course, you
Arbitrum,
got some layer ones and twos here.
bridge
Avalanche.
connections via wormhole and Axelar with Arbitrum. No information on Aros. Oop. Avalanche bridge connection via wormhole and Axelar. It sounds like they are using wormhole, or they've integrated a wormhole bridge, and then they're listing all of wormhole functionality on this list of ecosystem partners. I don't know if they're actually
Hmm.
partnered with Avalanche or Arbitrum, but that might be like a cheap gimmick. It'd be cool if they are actually partnered with them. Chainalysis, that's
I'm sure
interesting.
they are.
Wonder who they're.
I mean, if you think that their launch partner CoinList launched a lot of these projects, it's within the realm of reason to say that they've introduced them to them, and they're big deals, so they're working together.
It is very true, and look like they're lumping together ecosystem partners and investors, which again we're not a huge fan of. IBC, there's some controversy there with some of our community members and viewers might understand what we're talking about as far as let's say controversial KOLs or influencers.
I mean, I don't like lumping everything together, but to their credit, they filter by tag, so these are all. But you can specify which one you're looking for.
Oh man, there's 10 minutes. And I don't feel nearly comfortable enough making an investment based decision, but we must. Would you like me to begin, or you want to go for it?
You can begin, but yeah, just a quick reminder: if you like this content, please give us a follow, give us a shout out, comment, let us know what project we should cover next, and yeah, subscribe if you really, really like us. And yeah, what are your thoughts here? Obviously, we don't have enough time, like you said, but do you have enough understanding of this to warrant looking deeper into Nibiru and the NIBI token?
I don't think I have enough understanding, at least not as much as I want to make like an accurate judgment. And so if you think about what we've seen, like let's take a high level overview. The website and information is presented very clearly. It seems to be more so tailored towards like casual onlookers. There's not a lot of technical information about the benefits of this network. And they use terminology like limitless scalability and like some benefits of decentralized ledger technology. Anyone can get down with that. But at the same time, they're vague and it promises very little. And so, we took a look at the documentation. At least there was a link called documentation that led to some Git book. And there was not a whole lot of technical stuff there, as much as we usually see with layer one networks. No technical white paper. I mean, maybe it's on the Git book, or I'm sorry, the GitHub, maybe it's somewhere else, but no technical know-how of like how this is better than, let's say, Ethereum or Solana, even at layer twos. So we don't understand the product so well. what we do understand is that they've got some big backers, they've got some big investors, they've got connections at least to existing networks that have a lot of users and a lot of traffic. And so, like,
Hmm.
what is the likelihood of this token, jumping up in value after the launch? I'd say it's pretty high. There's a lot of people interested in it. I think on crypto Twitter, we didn't have a chance to take a look at socials, but there's a lot of people talking about the NIBI token as like a speculative asset. Does it mean in the long term, Nibiru is going to develop like a strong ecosystem of dApps and like have a lot of like strong utility in the world of crypto? I don't know. It's still very competitive. Sui, Aptos, like all these fantastic networks and layer ones have come to market recently, and they're all struggling to get users, and they're all struggling to get dApp builders and stuff. So, like, I'm very skeptical of any layer one coming to market. My brain automatically goes to like speculation based pump and dump that VCs want to jump on, and then influencers want to jump on. And at the end of the day, it's just added to the list of layer ones that exist. So I haven't seen anything that shows me it's better than what exists right now. Um, but the investment looks like a good opportunity based on the backers if you're looking for a quick return. So that's my devil's advocate. That's my hot take on
I mean, I
Nibiru.
I wouldn't say I wouldn't say this is anything like a pump and dump. Like I know you're not saying that, but there's so many easier ways to pump and dump. Make a metaverse or a play to earn game or something, but not something as comprehensive as a layer one. So I believe a great deal of care and love and attention has gone into this by the look of the website, and there is quite a bit of technical information there. Just because we didn't have time to look at it, but I'm sure the GitHub repository is replete with information for developers. Like they're very focused on onboarding builders, so that's good. They're not really sharing so much information about the token, which is good and bad. Like they should have maybe a little bit more, but I like that their focus is in the important onboarding of builders, because builders bring your coin holders, your token holders. So and like you said, I think even the worst performing layer one or layer two projects to launch in the last few years still did quite well. So if you're going to handle it like that, then yeah, VCs are probably going to be happy as long as the token doesn't die before they get their tokens. KOLs are probably happy because they're showing this; they're going to get their tokens. In retail, I think they'll be quite happy with the returns here as long as they don't buy at the top. But obviously, that's impossible to tell. So I think I've seen enough to say, yeah, I would look more into Nibiru, especially how to pronounce its name. But I don't love it because, like you said, it's a little bit congested. There's so many blockchains, and they all do very similar stuff. I'm sorry, but the Web3 hub of the future of money or whatever, it's very buzzwordy. It doesn't mean anything to me. But they've put a lot of attention into this, so they do deserve more than 10 minutes, basically, of my time. So I'd say a thumbs up in the sense that they deserve more time and research.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it will do well. I'm not going to make any predictions on this one, but on CoinList, they have a good track record. So I expect to see pretty good launch and good things from Nibiru.
Great take, honestly. I think you covered some really good stuff. My prediction, 42x all time high, and then settling down at
Stop
22x.
trying to do all time highs. That's assuming all time high happens at launch, which a lot of the times it does. But some of them, good projects, they go higher
Yeah.
later on.
Well, that's just crazy. I mean, there's so many investors and VCs that keep investing in layer one after layer one after layer one. It tells you that they're maybe not so focused on product or the technology if they're investing in all of these different layer ones that, it's very difficult to tell if they have like incremental improvements over the other. Might be because they're returns focused. Doesn't mean it's a bad product. You're right.
Absolutely.
Doesn't mean it's not going to make an impact, but again, it's it seems a little bit transparent. But yeah, I think Nibiru, great, great job communicating what you're doing. Great website, really cool network of ecosystem partners and backers. Very happy that you guys are coming to market, and very excited to see what is going to happen. Who's going to build on your network, how many users you're going to get. All of this is going to come to light soon. So, best of luck. That's 10 minutes in the books on Nibiru. Carmelo and Sasha signing off. And again, thanks everyone for watching, tuning in. Make sure you like this video and subscribe if this interests you. We got more videos coming. Thank you very much, y'all. Ciao.
Bye.